welcome to the first episode of Plagiarize Evil, where our first episode will be going on about Woody and how he betrayed everyone in the fourth film, and how he betrayed every friend he knew, and betrayed every kid he knew in this film. Unfortunately, due to Disney being evil, which will be for another video at a time, I have to use still images because Disney is desperate for money. Because they'll take any video down for copyright, even though they will only own the rights for it for 20 years, due to patents. Our first signs of Woody being evil is that he does not believe Bo Peep is dead. We do not see Bo Peep in Toy Story 3 for a reason. She is a fragile toy that will get destroyed easily from any events in Toy Story 3, where the writers could not justify Bo Peep being in that film. In Toy Story 4, they made Bo Peep the imagination of Woody. Bo Peep does not exist anymore, and Woody cannot cope with that, where it is his personality disorder that Bo Peep, the imaginary friend that Woody has, makes him do the events he do. Because Bo Peep in Toy Story 4 does not act like the same in Toy Story 2 and Toy Story 1. Bo Peep constantly insults Woody, insults his beliefs, and basically has an abusive relationship with him verbally. Where Bo Peep in this film symbolizes what Lotso and Stinky Pete told Woody, where Woody realized that they were right all along. Where Woody does not care about Andy and only cares about the toys around them. Where he prefers Andy to be miserable than leave Bo Peep behind. Where if he does not care about Andy that much, he does not care about Bonnie that much. Where due to Woody only caring about Bo Peep and not much about Andy or Bonnie, reversed all of the character development from Jessie and Buzz. The doll from Toy Story 3 knew the damage Woody was doing and tried to keep him locked up as much as possible, keeping him away from Bonnie and trying to keep him away from damaging the toys even further. Woody, due to not being able to be played for 3 days, having PTSD from Toy Story 3, decided to do the unthinkable by creating an abomination that destroys the Toy Story universe, and it's not even a toy whatsoever, known as Forky. Forky was only created for suffering, where all he knows is pain and misery, where the only way to end his suffering is through death or going in the trash. Woody is horrified by his creation, but chose to keep it alive because he wanted to manipulate the toys with his decision at the end of the film and to show that he's still useful and have a purpose by keeping Forky alive and have something to do. Where in the song's own lyrics, I can't let you throw yourself away. Where Woody needs Forky to achieve his plans. Where once the timing was right, Woody has thrown the trash bin away, removing Forky's only coping mechanism or escapism so he can get out of the van. Woody has purposely done that to make Bonnie miserable and give toys a reason that he was looking for Forky, when in reality he wanted to ditch Bonnie from the very start because his only loyalty is from Bo Peep. Not from Andy and not from Bonnie, only from Bo Peep. He did not care Bonnie still played with him. All he cared about was getting revenge on Andy abandoning him and not taking him to college. Once Forky jumped off the van, Woody found the perfect opportunity to manipulate Forky that being a favorite toy is technically trash. Where while Forky and Woody walked to Bonnie, Woody finally found the best reason to ditch Bonnie and basically get Forky kidnapped by going to a suspicious lamp that obviously don't have Bo Peep. Where instead of caring about Forky and instead of caring about Bonnie, he cared about ditching all of his morals just to find a toy he has not seen in over 10 years. Because Woody wanted Bonnie to be miserable and devastated. When escaping a toy that wanted his toy box or organ, that Bonnie still uses his toy box because Bonnie still plays with Woody, Woody ditched Forky by ripping his arms off and letting him get captured by a toy that only cares about grabbing other toys' organs and flat out being evil. And the reason why Woody has started the entire conflict and the entire film is because it's all he has left to do. Because Disney refuses to let the franchise end, and Woody had enough of his morals and his beliefs, where he would rather try to avoid rescuing Forky as much as possible by dealing with an imaginary Bo Peep, because Bo Peep is dead, so Bonnie's parents had enough and decides to leave. Where Woody makes a deal to make Bonnie more miserable if he gets unlucky, by selling his organ to a toy he barely knew, and a toy that only cares about the suffering of other toys as long as it makes her happy, so she can replace the other toy's happiness so she can be happy with another kid. Woody only done this for one reason: to manipulate his friends, showing he does slightly care about Bonnie being happy, when secretly he doesn't. He loves Bonnie being miserable and sad. Where once Woody saw the toy that stole his organ just to get played by a kid, and she lost and failed because the plan was stupid, Woody, instead of ditching her and going to Bonnie, Woody helped her that stole her organ and is gonna make other toys miserable by stealing those organs to help her get an actual kid, so this toy can spread misery and suffering to the other kids in toy kind. And in the ending of the film, Woody chose to ditch everyone he loved. He ditched his friends that he has stayed with decades. He has made Bonnie miserable. He has made Bonnie more sad. He made Andy flat out lie to Bonnie because Woody left Bonnie. Where he ditched everyone he knew to hang out with an imagination person that he barely interacted with in the first Toy Story film and the second Toy Story film. Where all Bo Peep does in the film is constantly insult Woody, say how much he doesn't like him, and how Woody is a failure and should have been a lost toy instead of being loyal and have morals. And there is a lot of mystery and questions. Why Woody would do this? Why Woody would do that? Well, I have one theory that can explain it, because Woody is a darkener, and the human beings in the Toy Story world are lighteners. If a darkener has no purpose, they turn into stone and basically die. Woody has completed his purpose in Toy Story 3. In Toy Story 4, he has no purpose. He served Andy well, and Bonnie is just not the same as Andy to him. Where Bonnie was starting to ditch him like in Toy Story 3, close to being stuck in the toy closet for 10 years by being stuck in there for 3 days. Woody did not want to become stone and die. He was not ready for it, so he chose to get revenge on the Lighteners, and has become the Roaring Knight. But that's just a theory. But the main point of this video is to show that Woody is not what we knew in the trilogy. Woody has become a psychopath that only cares about the suffering and pain of others and don't want to make people happy anymore. He wants to make them miserable. But deep inside, Woody knows that he is stone. He is literally a darkener with stone with no purpose and desperately trying to find a purpose by being a lost toy. And due to his actions, no one will shed a tear for him, and it will be forgotten in Toy Story 5 and be in a bunch of conspiracy theories that he's Deltarune the Knight. So anyways, I saved you 6 hours of time by just explaining how terrible Toy Story's 4 plot is. I didn't focus on the other characters because it would have made it 6 hours long. Where you get the point that Woody is not Woody the cowboy anymore. He is Woody the Knight, and he doesn't have a friend in me anymore. It is friend inside me. Thank you for watching.